everyone, welcome back on the channel. In today's video I'm going to break down the steps I'm following to create the new building of my new Bolivian table. In case you are wondering, long time no see on the channel, just got a new kid, the first one, so yeah, time has been a bit busy, but I still managed to start that new table. The image you can see on the screen, just some work in progress shots. So yeah, let's get started on a new building together. For this wall table, at least for the civilian building, I'm using the Sarissa Precision Mediterranean buildings. So let's unpack this one. So that's the kit, 3 different MDF sheets plus one small thin cardboard sheet for the details. The first thing I'm going to do is to take the 2 different floors and glue all the wall together. This way I will be able to spray paint the floor in one color, and I will leave the base, which is this one, in a different color, and same for the ground of the first floor. This is what I've done on this building, for example. So here I've painted separately the walls in pink. Once done, I just glue the wall onto the base that I've painted another color. So here it's a bit of laundry dust and some gray for the inside. Same thing here on this one. I've painted the floor of the first floor white and the wall pink. So yeah, let's do that. Let's paste the wall together and yeah, see you for the next step. While my walls are drying, something I like to do on the base, just to give it a bit more flavor, is to first create some tiles that you can see here, some small slab or some pavement, call it whatever you want. And what I also like to do is just a bit bevel the corner, just to give it a more natural look. So that's going to be the next step. First thing, with just a basic ruler, I will mark some 2 cm or 1 cm tile. Then I will engrave them with that Sharpie tool here. I'm just going to engrave them this way. And the next step, once I have done that, just so the MDF is not super slick, I'm just going to just move that tool along the MDF, just so it's less clean, just it give a bit some texture to it. And finally, to round the corner, I'm using some heavy sandpaper, just with my hand, not with a machine. I'm just rounding the corner, and I'm also beveling that small edge that we can see on top. So let's do that really quickly. So that's the base of the building ready for paint. So here I'm going to just spray paint, especially the edge with that laundry dust color. I like it, the color it gives. So that's going the next step, starting the colors. Laundry dust for the base. For the building, I will have one primary building for the wall building, but for the base here, I would like to do something a bit special. I will paint the base in one color, and I will create some kind of rocks using those Sarissa Precision stencil. The process is pretty easy. I will spray paint some white on the base, then I will just come with that. I will just put it on my finger, apply some pressure so it doesn't move, and I'm just going to give a few splotches of spray paint on it, just to create some rocks. So yeah, that's going to be the next step, starting the colors. So here I have the base in laundry dust. The next step is that I will use some masking tape on the edge to paint another color in the interior. I'm not going to play much in the interior, but I want to have a bit of a different color. That's what I've used here. You can see interior is gray and here it's laundry dust. For the walls themselves, I started painting them. I'm doing some really thin layer just to not Yeah, just so it's not too thick on the MDF. So here I have first layer of white, going to do a second layer. The whole building will be blue. So here I have the first floor, which is already a bit blue, and the base for the first floor will be white, same as the surrounding of the wall, the doors and windows. So while this is drying, I'm also going to start on the roof. So yeah, let's do that now. So piece of my roof is drying, so in the meantime I'm pretty pleased with the white. There will be a lot of weathering and rocks on top, so you don't need to be fully covered in white. Next step is I'm going to put that on, press with my finger, and with my right hand, where I'm holding my phone, I'm just going to spray paint some colors. So here I will spray a bit of laundry dust and a bit of that dark earth color. So yeah, just to give a bit variation to the stone and not only have the same color. So let's do that and yeah, keep working on that house. And that's the look of the stone. Pretty happy with the results. I will do the wall contour of the house. The step following that will be to apply once fully dry. Really, I will wait 1 hour or two for it to be fully dry. I will put some masking tape on the basement part here, and I'm going to paint the rest of the house in blue. That way I won't touch my rocks. So yeah. So here the wall contour is ready. Once dry, I'm going to tape it. The house, the roof, I just glued the standard roof that come with the kit. What I'm going to do next is to, I've cut some, it's some sheet that you put in your, I will link it, just found that on Amazon, forget the name of it, sorry about that. I just cut out some piece of it. I'm going to glue that on each side, and I'm going to use a basic straw that I'm going to paste in the middle on top. So this building here is supposed to be more some metallic sheet. So that's why it's red. For this I want to build more some tiles, so I'm going to paint it terracotta orangey. In some of the building I took the time of cutting some small strip and just putting them well. I'm going to place an image on screen. I'm just too lazy for all the other building because I have so many of them. So I'm just going to place a single strip like that, and that will do the job. So that's the look at the roof. It's now drying. While it is drying, started cutting all the small details. So the shutters and the window interior, I'm going to paint that brown. The contour of the doors and window, I'm going to paint that white. Same for those small details that come on the roof. And here, I need to detach the shutters from the contour. So yeah, again, shutters in brown, contour in white. So here I cutted all the contour. Small tips: if you just lay them down and go with the spray, the spray can, they will move all over the place. I try using two-sided tape. Problem is it's way too strong, and when I was removing them I was tearing them apart. So here I'm using some masking tape that I just make a round. I apply that. I just sticking it in place with also some masking tape, and they just glued on top, so this way they won't move anywhere. So this I'm going to spray paint white, all the rest spray paint brown, and the next step will be also to start spraying this blue. And same thing here, don't forget to paint that upper part blue as well. So we have now all the basic pieces. We have the white one here, we have the brown one there, we have the blue floor, we have this. So let's peel off slowly the masking tape. With one hand it's kind of hard, but yeah, I will do the rest off screen, but you get the idea. Works perfectly. And here I have my roof that is still drying. So this took me roughly 1 hour with the break for checking the baby. And yeah, next step is I will just glue the floor together, and the following step will be to glue those parts. So that's the house glued together. One last thing I want to do before starting to glue the rest of the details is to add a bit of details by placing that sheet from Sarissa again, and just trying to spray a bit some paint just to have some brick shine through the paint. So that's going to be the next step, just placing that, putting the spray bottle really on top of it, and just doing a really light push on the bottle, just to have a few bricks on the sides. So that's going to be next. So that's the effect I wanted to do, so we can see a bit the brick. The effect is really subtle, trying to focus on the wall. So yeah, the effect is very subtle, but it had a small detail that I quite like on those building side. And yeah, so next step, let's start to glue the rest of the pieces. So that next step is done. As we can see here, we have the shutters in place plus the white part. The next step, I'm going to use some technical Agrellan bat down just to add a bit of dirt on the front tiles over here. So really a small detail, but when we do the final touches on the sidewalk here, that will be cool to have those kind of little spot of dirt. So now that's done, the next step is the weathering. I created my own mix, kind of Agrax Earthshade, by mixing some, where is it? Where do I have all the products? So here. Mixing some matte medium, a bit of water, and some ink. So I use mostly the brown one, not that black one. So yeah, I created my own wash, and I'm going to apply it on the whole building. So the way I'm using my shade is to apply a really thick coat, as we can see on the wall facade, and then once the wall facade has been covered, I'm going to wipe most of it using not a paper towel, because it dislocates and it leaves some bits of paper. I'm using just some cloth. So obviously with one hand is super hard, so I'm going to stop the phone right now, but I'm just going to go from top to bottom just so it leaves some nice mark. And that's the weathering all done, so it's still drying. As you can see that the roof is pretty wet, but yeah, that's start to look pretty cool. We have some just something that looks less clean, less new, and it's far from finished. We still have a lot of details that I still want to add, but yeah, it starts to be tabletop ready for me almost. So yeah, leave this to dry, and then we will move to the detailing part. Back in the gaming room for the next steps. Here you can see some of the building I already almost complete. There is still one extra step, which is the poster, and yeah, the thing I need a printer to finish. But yeah, we can see some of those buildings that you saw on the intro, just laid out on the table. So for the next step, it's the detailing part. So for that, I have a bunch of pieces. There is a lot that is coming from crooked dice, that, for example, all the small pipes, those small light bulb here, those small vents, plus those small boxes here. But most of the stuff I have is actually from modernminiatures.eu. So here, for example, I have some of those antenna, some of those box here. I have also those AC unit here. So yeah, for the next step, I'm going to start gluing some of those bits onto the building. I also have some cinder blocks here from Ludo Cortorum. It's a store in France that sold these. So yeah, I'm just going to scatter a few of them maybe. And yeah, so yeah, let's do that for that next step and start to glue those pieces. So here I started adding the details. We have an AC unit, we have some cinder block here, we have that box here, we have a pipe, I need still to do some financial touches with the paint, and here another AC unit. So now that's done, next step is starting to add some vegetation. The first thing here is I'm not really a fan of those cracks in the MDF. So what I'm going to do here is take my old brush with some PVA glue, and I'm going to create basically a natural shape, and I'm actually going to drop some of that on it, and I'm creating basically some ivy climbing on the wall. So yeah, I'm going to do that again off screen, not recording, because yeah, it's a bit of a tedious process and you need to be a bit quite fast before the glue dries. So the idea, I create a nice shape and I will just take that and will drop it onto the wall to create my ivy. So that's how it looks. Yeah, I will leave it to dry. While it's drying, what I'm going to do is just mix a bit of water with my PVA glue here. I'm just going to also add a few of that flock in my sidewalk here. So yeah, on against the wall, a bit in the middle also. Just to add that again, some extra detail. Yeah, a bit hard to be precise while holding the camera, but yeah, something like that. And same idea here. Yeah, doing that off screen, I will place that here, put my scatter on, and yeah. So this has been added. I have some crack on that other side, but here I'm planning to add a billboard from the video game Ghost Recon Wildlands, which is actually what my whole table and future campaign is based on. So yeah, there will be a billboard over here, so I'm not too concerned about that side, and I will leave that side empty. Or maybe I can just add some extra vines or some extra ivy also on that side. We'll see. But here, what I want to do here, I have some grass stuff, so I'm just going to take a few of these, just add some extra glue and just add a few tufts here and there, just again adding some extra details in front of the building. Something like that. Next step on the front here is the trash. The trash, I just got a basic, it's like a board game book, like any kind of book will do, any kind of plastic material here. What I'm doing is just taking my knife, I'm just ripping off, yeah, again, with one hand, it's kind of hard, but yeah, just ripping off some pieces of that. And here I will make some tiny bits. I will try to avoid the side where we can see the writing, so I will try to put it on that other side here. Just going to smash it a bit so it have a more of an interesting shape. And yeah, let's do that with the second one here. Just going to, yeah, again, try to do some like a newspaper or just some basic trash. And I'm going to dip that into some watered down PVA glue and glue some on the sidewalk. And that will be the final look at the pavement in front of this building. I added that gas canister from TT Immersion. link on screen. So yeah, that's roughly it for this building. The last step will be to start to add some posters and billboard. Okay, so for the poster and the billboard, I just took some image either from Bolivia, or I went in the video games Ghost Recon Wildlands, took some screenshot. A friend of mine also sent me some screenshots, and I also found these also from the video games. Once I've printed everything, I started cutting some of these, and yeah, starting to paste them on the building. So here we have a nice ad for some cafe, plus some poster on the bottom, and that is done. I'm calling this piece done. Yeah, that one still feels a bit empty. Probably going to add a bit more ivy, forget to do that. But yeah, that should be it for this building. So thank you everyone for watching that new video, and I will see you soon for the next one. Bye everyone.